Hey, sports fans, welcome back to another episode of Bucky's Sports Show. Tonight I am going to talk college football, NFL, give you my picks. Let's get started. First, we're going to take top 25 in college football. Okay, first up, Friday night, 7 p.m., number 8, Florida State at Virginia. Florida State is a 6.5-point favorite. I would take the spread in that game. Give me 6.5 points. I think Florida State runs away with this game. Virginia hasn't played too much yet. Florida State, they are just beating the tar out of people, including a nice win over Alabama. That was 2 touchdowns. Give me Florida State the points. I think they run away with it. Also, Friday night, 9 p.m., you got TCU at Arizona State. Arizona State's a 2.5-point favorite. I like TCU in this game. I think TCU wins this game. Called a hunch. I don't know. I'm assuming this is what Vegas is calling a coin toss game. Arizona State's favorite because they are at home. I just think TCU will be a little too much for Arizona State. Saturday, noon games, noon or 12:45. Start off with a little banger here. Number 21 USC at number 23 Illinois. USC is a 6.5-point favorite. I think this game could be a little closer than 6.5. Saying that after Illinois they just got blasted last week by Indiana. But I think they bounced back a little bit. Not enough. Give me the USC and the money line on that one. Georgia Tech, again, rule number 2, never bet Georgia Tech. They're number 16. They're at Wake Forest. Georgia Tech's a 13.5-point favorite. If you want to bet it, just take the money line. Don't take the spread in that game. Georgia Tech will break your heart if you do. Next up, Notre Dame, number 22 at Arkansas. Notre Dame comes in a 4.5-point favorite. I don't trust Notre Dame yet. Give me Arkansas at home on the money line. 12:45 game, Utah State at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a 22.5-point favorite. I don't know enough to take a Utah State at plus 22.5. If you're going to put this in a parlay, take the money line on Vanderbilt. If you're going to risk it and bet single, I would go Vanderbilt 22.5. This game, when I bet it, will be all part of a parlay, so that will be my money line bet there. 3:30 games. You have number 11 Indiana at Iowa. Indiana's a 7.5-point favorite. I like Indiana in this game. I think Indiana wins by more than 7.5. They are blowing everyone out so far this season. Give me the points and Indiana at minus 7.5. Ohio State at Washington. Ohio State's number 1 in the country. I think they win big in Washington. Give me the Buckeyes at minus 8.5. Again, another one here that's a little weird, and this is probably the game of the afternoon. Number 4 LSU at number 13 Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a 1.5-point favorite. I like Ole Miss in this game. It's not close enough odds-wise to take the minus 1.5. Moneyline Ole Miss. I don't think LSU goes on the road and pulls this off. What a fantastic game that's shaping up to be, though. Man, Lane Kiffin has Hottie Toddy rolling right now. Next up, Auburn at number 9, Texas A&M. I like Texas A&M this game on the money line. The 6.5. I still don't trust Auburn a whole lot, so I would probably take, if I was going to not put this in a parlay, bet it on its own, I would take Texas A&M at -6.5. But I will put that in a parlay and ride the money line on that. 4:15, we got number 15 Tennessee at Mississippi State. Tennessee -7.5 point favorites. Give me Tennessee. I don't know if I like 7.5. If you want to buy it down, get that under that 4.5 mark somewhere, 5.5. That's probably what I would be looking at. But I will take the money line in that game. 7 o'clock game and later are the rest here. Arizona at Iowa State. Iowa State's a 6.5 point favorite. Again, give me the money line. I don't know much about Arizona, so I am not going to do points either way. I will money line Iowa State because I have liked what I've seen out of the Cyclones this year. The 7:30, we got UMass at Mizzou. Mizzou comes in 44.5 point favorites. There is no money line. I would not bet 44.5. I don't know enough about UMass. That's a lot of points. That is a lot of points. So I will not be betting this game unless a money line comes up, and then the odds are going to be so astronomically bad in your favor. It's not worth betting. Man, these next two games, either one of these could be games of the day. Number 17, Alabama at number 5, Georgia. Gotta love Alabama Georgia games. Georgia comes in 2.5 point favorite. I'm going to moneyline Georgia. I am moneylining Georgia. Alabama, the one game they've played this year, they lost. Very interested to see what they do against Georgia here. A game I'm probably most looking forward to, again, 7:30 start. Number 6, Oregon at number 3, Penn State. What a game this ought to be. Penn State, a 3.5 point favorite. I think Penn State wins this by more than 3.5, but I'm going to just moneyline it because Oregon has looked really good this year as well. So I am moneylining Penn State. Penn State wins, I think, by more than 3.5, but I don't like that enough to bet it. Our last game, 10:15, number 25, BYU at Colorado. BYU comes in 6.5 point favorites. The game I watched, Colorado, they looked awful. I'm moneylining BYU because I have not seen BYU this year and do not know a whole lot about them. But what I've seen of Colorado was not good, so give me BYU on the money line. So that is this week's picks. Hopefully that's better than the 9-6 that I went last week. We shall see. To the NFL. Our first game is a game that's getting ready to be played here in just a little bit. It is the Seattle Seahawks at Arizona Cardinals. I like Arizona in this game. Obviously, you guys aren't going to be able to bet this as I'm doing it right before kickoff here. But officially, Arizona, I do have money on this evening, and I money line them. To Sunday's games. This is a 9:30 a.m. game. This is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game is being played in Dublin, Ireland. Minnesota comes in at 2.5 point favorites. I don't know if I like that. Their starting quarterback's out. I'm taking the Steelers. I am moneylining the Steelers in this game. The backup quarterback scares me with the Vikings. The 1 o'clock games. The Los Angeles Chargers at the New York Football Giants. The Chargers come in as 6-point favorite. Give me the Chargers. I don't trust the Giants. Until the Giants win, I will not touch them whatsoever. I will take the money line as the Giants have played a couple games close, but not close enough. Cleveland Browns at Detroit Lions. Lions come in a 10-point favorite. I like the Lions in this game. I think the Lions win big in this game, but Cleveland's coming off of a shocker against Green Bay where they pulled off an upset. They played the Bengals very close. Browns have been playing well this year, just haven't been able to get over the hump. They did last week get over the hump. What do they do this week? I don't know. I would money line the Lions or buy that down to 6.5. I don't know if I like that 10 points. Next up, New Orleans Saints at Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, I think they're my pick. They're my pick this year. They're a 15.5-point favorite. I don't know if I like that spread. I would probably buy that down somewhere around 9.5, 8.5. But I do think Buffalo wins this game. If you're just going to parlay this, which is probably what I will do, I would just money line it and see what happens. Because, man, 15.5 points, that's a lot of points for NFL. A lot of points for the NFL. Next up, Philadelphia Eagles at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I like the Eagles in this game. They're coming in 3.5-point favorites. They got an outside linebacker that's out until November. What's the defense going to look like? I don't know. I'm just going to money line it. I am just going to money line this game. Tennessee Titans at Houston Texans. Now, Texans come in 7-point favorite. The interesting part of this is the Texans are not playing well this year, and the Titans are awful. You'd like to think the Texans could cover 7 points. I'm not so sure they can. I would money line the Texans in this if you bet it. Again, put that in a parlay and go from there. Washington Commanders at Atlanta Falcons. The Commanders are a 1.5-point favorite. I think the Commanders win. I'm not sold on it, though. With the Commanders' QB being questionable. If he plays, I like the Commanders. If he does not play, give me the Falcons. Game is at Atlanta. Again, I think it's dependent on what the Commanders' quarterback does. If he plays, Commanders win. If he doesn't, Falcons win. So if you're going to bet it, keep an eye on that. Next up, Carolina Panthers at New England Patriots. Patriots come in 5.5-point favorites. I do think the Patriots win. I think it's a closer game than that. I would just money line that. The Indianapolis Colts at LA Rams. These are 4 o'clock games here. Colts. The Rams come in at 3.5-point favorites. The Colts are rolling. They are absolutely rolling. Indiana Jones has them off to a 3-0 start. First time since like 2009, something like that. However, I still don't trust them. There's something about that team I just don't trust. I'm unsure of. I will moneyline the Rams. I want to be all in on the Colts. I really do. I love the Colts. But if I'm betting money on them, I don't love them that much. Give me the Rams. Next up, Jacksonville Jaguars at San Francisco 49ers. 49ers are only 3.5-point favorites here. Give me the Niners minus 3.5. I think that's a easy win for the 49ers, especially with it being at home. This next game is kind of interesting. Baltimore Ravens at Kansas City Chiefs. Baltimore comes in 3-point favorite. Baltimore's kind of had a couple rough games. Last week was one of them, losing at home, giving up 17 points in the fourth quarter. Chiefs have just played awful this year. Going to be wanting to kind of bounce back, both teams. I trust Baltimore more right now than I trust the Chiefs. I'm going to moneyline Baltimore. I'm not going to deal with the points. Just give me Ravens to win. Next game. Chicago Bears at the Las Vegas Raiders. This game, too, very interesting. The Raiders come in at a -1.5 favorite. I like the Raiders. I think the Raiders win. Here's the interesting part to that. The Raiders at money line's -115. Raiders giving 1.5 points is +100. Give me the Raiders giving 1.5 points at the +100. I will take my chances on the Raiders winning by 2 points or more to try and double my money in that game. I've already placed the bet. It's down. Hopefully that doubles that bet. We'll see. We'll see. But at just giving 1.5 points, I think it's worth the shot because that's a huge odds jump. Very big odds jump. Sunday Night Football. We've got the Green Bay Packers at the Dallas Cowboys. Packers are a 7-point favorite. I like the Packers in this game. I think they win. I think they're going to be angry about the loss to the Browns last week. The Cowboys, they just suck. But give me the Packers in this game. Not sure about the -7. I will just take the money line in that game. Monday Night Football. Thankfully, we have options here because the first game will, unless you just like really bad football. The New York Jets at the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are a 2.5-point favorite. Give me the Dolphins on the money line. I don't trust either team, but give me the Dolphins money line. Both teams are not good. And we round out this week with the Cincinnati Bengals at the Denver Broncos. Broncos are a 7.5-point favorite. Bengals without their quarterback. I like the Broncos. I think it's by more than 7.5. I'm not sure on that. I would probably buy that down to 6.5 if you're going to bet that one game. But you're probably safe at the 7.5. Last week I went 11-4, so I had a couple games better with the NFL than I was college. Hopefully this week is an even better week. Last week I did finish ahead from where I started. So at the end of the day, that's all I really care about. No one's going to get every game perfect. But you got to do what you got to do. And I finished with more money in my account than what I started with, and that's all I care about. With that being said, we'll wrap up this week's episode. If you have anything you want me to discuss, email me at buckysportshow@gmail.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff. We'll see you next week. As always, enjoy the games.